today's video, we will talk about a book named Treetop Twins Wilderness Adventure. Let's read it. Did it. Treetop Twins. The twins walk with a woolly mammal. Is it a mammal? Let's read it. Look at that. The snow gleamed and dazzled as the sun glinted off the ice. The Treetop family have taken their time machine back 20,000 years to Ice Age North America. The Treetop family were on skis, and although the sun was shining, it was still absolutely freezing. Ooh. I really think you should be wearing your gloves, Ted said. Professor Pablo. I'm like a woolly mammoth. I don't feel the cold, shivered Ted, who hated wearing his gloves. In fact, his fingers were feeling a little chilly now, so he reluctantly put them on. The Treetop family had been looking for woolly mammoths for 3 or 4 days, and they still hadn't found any. But suddenly, Alfie, skiing a little in front of the others, spotted a large herd of them. Hmm. Woolly mammoths, shouted Alfie, pointing ahead. The woolly mammoths were standing still in a wide snow plain just below them. The Treetop family skied down and hid behind a large rock so they could observe the creatures without disturbing them. The woolly mammoths were about as big as African elephants, and they really are very hairy. What are they doing with their tails? Asked Tulip. Tulip. The mammoths were using their tusks like giant snow plows to shovel away the snow. How fascinating, said Professor Pablo. They're getting rid of the snow so they can reach the grass underneath to eat it. They watched as one of the creatures delicately twisted up the grass she had uncovered and put it in her mouth. There was something unusual about the mammoth's trunk, about a third of the way down. They were two flaps of skin, like cobra's hood. They looked just like mittens, said Tulip. Tulip was just wondering what they were for when the woolly mammoth reached out and made a snowball, then tucked it inside one of the flaps. When she took the snowball out again, snow had turned to water, and she spouted the water into her baby's mouth. Hmm, all the lakes and ponds have turned to ice, explained Professor Penelope. But this way, mammoths can make water out of snow, and they also use their mittens to keep the tips of their trunks warm when it's freezing cold. Just then Alfie noticed something moving from behind a big rock, something that had been lurking watching them along. Hmm. A saber-toothed cat, shouted Alfie, jumping out of their hiding place and waving his hands around in excitement. The saber-toothed cat started charging, but it wasn't the woolly mammoths it was charging towards. It was the Treetop family. Ski down! Shouted Professor Penelope, and the treetop family ski down, ski down, ski down. Ooh. Pointed their skis down a nearby hillside and flew across the snow, leaving the saber-toothed cat far behind. The creature was very surprised to see them shooting away so quickly. It had met humans before, but never once on skis. "Oh dear," said Alfie in dismay. "Now we're at the bottom of the hill and it's going to be a long climb back again. At least we'll get warm doing all that exercise," said Professor Pablo. And it was worth it to get a good close look at the woolly mammoths. Nighttime in the cave where the treetop family had made their home. Professor Pelep and Professor Pablo were watching the stars from the cave entrance. Asha and Alfie were reading books by the warmth of the campfire, and Tulip was drawing a picture of a woolly mammoth. "What are you doing, Ted?" asked Tulip. Ted was seeing if he could turn snowballs into drinking water like the woolly mammoth. But all he was doing was making his gloves wet. "It takes practice to be a woolly mammoth. You can learn to do that sorting of things in just one day." Asha's facts about woolly mammoths. Woolly mammoths were about the size of African elephants. They had flaps of skin on their trunks called mittens, which they used to warm the tips of their trunks and turn to snow into water. They used their tusks to shovel snow so they could eat the grass beneath. Hmm, that's all. That's the book about the woolly mammoths. Hmm. Treetop twins. You like it, kiddo? Hmm. Now you will see who's talking. It's me, Daddy. Hmm. Love, love. Woolly, woolly. Ski down, ski down. Hmm? Gee.